Okay, my glorious people. Welcome. This is your captain speaking. No video. I know y'all missed my pretty face. No video in this one. I wanted to do strictly the game. So I want to jump right into this, right? Because again, this is a I feel like this is there's a lot to kind of unpack here, and I want to make sure that I am entirely showing you guys the full aspect of it without really getting for the camera being in the way or anything like that, right? So this is Voyager Legends. This is pretty much the setup, right? This is I don't know what that was. Why is that there? Okay, that was weird. So this is the kind of this is a 2v2 situation and or 1v1v1 or 1v1v1. I'm sorry. That was the first one. 1v1v1. Oh, free for all. I don't know why what am I saying? Free for all. Okay. You can do a free for all. You can do a 2v2, a free for all, or you can go crazy with the stakes and go 3-on-1, right? It's just really up to you how dangerous you're feeling, right? But this is specifically set for 2v2, right? So I'm gonna break down the components and then I'll break down the pieces and kind of like, and then we'll talk about the rules and stuff like that. So on these back lines, right, these black tiles spawn points, right? The back line is a normal spawn point, which may cost you, the normal amount. We're gonna use fictional numbers because I haven't really played this out yet. 100 credits per for the back line, right? Now, as you get deeper into the spawn joints, right? So like you can spawn up to here, okay? But the board is technically split in half, right? So you have two outer spawn points. The enemy has two outer spawn points, right? As you go up, right, it starts to multiply, right? So multiple of two, multiple of four, multiple of six, multiple of eight, and in reverse as well too, right? So whether it be like 800, so it's like 800 to spawn a unit right here, but you can't. And you will only do this when you're pushing the enemy back and they're so far back that this would be egregious to spawn a new enemy and I mean spawn a new unit and try to work them all the way up here without any movement boost or anything like that. So that's why you would do it like this, but it's also a dangerous point to do it at, right? Outside of that, you have objective points, which are these flippable ones, these flippable tires. Objective points, right? So you can earn gold as long as you have a unit on this tile. You'll earn gold, and as soon as that unit leaves, it turns red, so it's not active, and it stays inactive for 2 turns, right? The other ones are hazard points, right? So the lighter the tone, the lighter the move penalty, right? So blue is a minus this. So this is basically shallow water, deep water, right? Movement delay of 1, movement delay of 3, right? Same thing with the forest. You have shallow, you have like high grass, right? You have forest. Okay, again, movement delay. Same thing, like 1 and then 3. These aren't official numbers. These are just you know test numbers, so I can kind of explain everything to you guys. If you have a unit that basically, if you run out of if you run out of movement, like let's just say like this, let's say your character can only have a movement speed of 2, and you get forced to land right here. If he lands in the square, it's an automatic death, right? So you don't want to land on it. If it outclasses your movement speed, your movement points, you don't want to land here. Okay, stick to high ground, right? And then they don't have any effects or anything to them. Like so, I think like lava and stuff like that. I haven't really worked all that stuff out. I just have water and grass. Only made one map, one variation. But in terms of the map, that's everything that goes with the map. Okay, so come over here to our number points, right? So this right here are your corresponding unit blocks. Okay, at most you can have 8 units on the board at a time, right? Noted through the 1 through 8. I don't know if I'm just gonna see if I can one, two, three, four, five. So you have five cards. You have five cards at a time, right? Your fifth card, right? Your fifth. I forgot how you rotate. I don't know how you rotate. I can't remember how you the rotate key, but your number one is always going to be your leader card. Okay, so think of like Warhammer, right? You have a general or the leader, whatever, like that. And once the leader dies, I mean the game still goes on, but it's kind of like with this one, it's not. So if the leader dies, then the game's over. You do lose, but in Warhammer, your objective is to kill the enemy or whatever, right? But so whatever you and these are specialized cards too. So these aren't like normal cards. These are specialized cards, right? So like I think this one in particular is a unit card. Um, yeah. So this one in particular is and this is a test card too as well too. This is a test card. A lot of these are just test cards. I made most of the artwork through Midjourney. And so I'll make my actual we'll have our own artwork and stuff like that, but this is all made through Midjourney. Um, but I did make the move sets and things like that. These aren't the most updated cards. I did change a bunch of things. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. Maybe there might be a file where I have the updated cards, but it's not really relevant for this video. So I'll just continue. But so you have your unit card that goes here, right? This is your number one. This is your unit card, things like that, right? And you spawn them in into any, and you really, I mean, if you're working with a teammate, so you really want to spawn them in like one of these three or four or whatever the case may be, but you'll spawn them in, right? And you can, as long as you can afford it, because so every spawn cost, right? So I think I do have that on this. So I don't. So that's the one thing I don't have on these cards. So each card has a different value. Cause so let's break down the card, for instance, right? And let me just actually see if I can pull it up online. Because I made the card sets in Canva. So let me see. Let me just see if I can log in real quick, and I will show you guys. Okay, maybe, maybe I can't. Okay. If Cameron wants to be difficult today, okay. Let me just continue with email. This kind of sucks. Awesome. Okay, I got in. That was harder than it was supposed to be. So let's come over here. This actually is not. That one's not finished. This one isn't finished. There is a. These aren't finished either. That sucks. The sideboard card should be done though. Okay, the sideboard cards are technically done. Okay, so let's break down. Let's just break down the card itself, right? So you have different things to note, right? So number one, you have the rarity, which we have three different ones: bronze, silver, gold, right? And on top of that, there is a ranking of 1 to 3, right? So you can get bronze rank 3, which would be the lowest. One is the highest, so one out of one to three, one is the highest, and obviously bronze to gold, bronze is the lowest, right? Gold is the highest. Okay, but as you can see, it extends up and things like that, right? But you get different. bonuses depending on what it is, right? And so to make it simple, I did like simple stuff, like move bonuses and things like that, right? Counters, stuff like just really simple stuff. Just I had to get the concept down. But depending on which rarity you have, will dictate, what your bonuses may be, and even your ability might be different, right? Um, but at the same time, the cost is also different, right? So even though you could have a gold rank one, right? That's 2,500 credits. You feel what I'm saying? You may not be able to run that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and you can only have one. This is a leader card. This specifically is a leader card. Um, but so let's just go to like a unit card, like let's say what do they call them, blade runner. You may not be able to you might not be able to afford 2,500 credits. You know what I'm saying? If you had let's just say you had a full deck of gold ones, that's an expensive deck to, you know what I'm saying, to play on the field, right? Because think of it like this again, boom, this is no multiplier of two, right? Multiplier of 4, 6, 8. You would have to come on. There's no way. What is it? This is 5. This is 5,000 credits. To put them right here is 5,000 credits. To put them right here is 10,000 credits. To put them all the way up here, about 20,000 credits. You, why would you spend all your money on that? It could be an exhibition game, right? So that's crazy. So it's a real strategic in terms of like money management. You really have to be conservative about what you spend your money on, right? Now, outside of that, there's also two other things that you can put on there. So we have equipment cards, right? Which would be like these are different equipment cards. You can have 3 equipment cards put on your character at one time, right? Some equipment cards have limited, it only lasts for, see, as you can see, I got really lazy. These have the same description, but they only last for 3 turns, right? And so it really just depends, right? It really just depends on what specifically, the card equipment is. The cooldowns may be different. It may be a cooldown, maybe have an effect, it may only last for a certain amount of time, right? It just depends. But no matter what, only 3 can be applied at a time, right? And the only other 2 cards that come up as, as a consequence of this different things would be um, support. So not it's more than 2. I'm sorry. So you have these are the weapon cards. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. I changed the names in this one, so I wasn't that lazy. But you have mounts. Mounts is one thing. These help boost movement. Again, they only last for a certain amount of time. I'm got really generic with the maps, with the different mounts and things like that. So don't don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, so it's just different ones, but they don't last forever. They only last for a certain amount of time. I didn't put that in there, and they all have different movement uh bonuses, I should say, right? And then you also have another one. You have, where did the thing go? Where did no, these are my images. Again, these are more images. Folders. Huh. I don't know. The cards are here, but these are just the pictures. So, but anyway, the only other thing was the creature cards and the resource cards. And so um, this kind of sucks. Yeah, so there were the creature cards and the there it is. Creature cards and the resource cards, which is another one. So I'm just gonna bring those up real quick. Maybe if I can find them again. They're here somewhere. Support resource. There we go. So these again, they're only supposed to last a certain amount of time, right? And they actually go right here. So there's not enough space on the board, so they would go like right here. I don't think I have a resource card activated, but it would just you can only have what was it? Five. There it is. It's like Q or something. I think it was like Q. So yeah, you can only have like maybe I think it was like yeah, it was like three resource cards activated at the time. That was it. And again, they could range from anything from support on types of like overall bonuses when it comes to just different support, right? Most of these are just resource cards in terms of like adding funds, right? So they add for the most part I just did the adding money part, right? So you get like 800 gold to the player per turn, you feel me, like stuff like that. um I think this was the only one that was kind of like, there you go. This is only one mafia meeting, three movement to all allies for 3 turns. So just like simple stuff like that, right? So just kind of like, I think this one was different too. +2 to all allies counter rolls, right? So this is another one. So that was another one. But yeah, so the resource cards are supposed to be like the overall general effect, across the field, not just one person in particular. So I mean, in a sense, you could kind of go crazy and put a bunch of like support. Um, I should have changed these to support, so it's not like a resource. You can tell the difference, but again, just test stuff. But yeah. So you can put down a bunch of support cards, and on top of a bunch of stacked unit cards, right? And you really can just kind of go crazy with that. Um, it really just depends. And so this space next to it is just a graveyard. That's just a graveyard. So I didn't have anywhere else to put it. So you would really get more space. I just don't have a graveyard area, for these. So that kind of sucked. Um, so outside of that, so we can kind of jump right back into the card itself, though. Let's just pull up like the human cards. I guess I'll show you guys the creature cards as well too. I haven't gone. So they have like dragons. So the creature cards kind of span throughout, you know, Voyager's timeline in general, right? So like, you'll have like way ancient past, you'll have the dragons, right? So these are like ancient creatures, right? Then you have more futuristic creatures, which would be Boulderback. But then you have like modern creatures, which are just kind of dogs. There'll be other stuff, but dogs. I was just trying to like come up with some stuff. Plus, this was a lot. I don't have any intention to release all these cards. I don't think. These was kind of like these were really just supposed to be a placement holder, and I kind of just went crazy with it. So, we'll get into it later. But to jump back into the cards. So, the breaking down the cards, you have classes, abilities, right, and then bonus attributes, right. So up here you have the name. Again, we already talked about bronze, silver, gold, and then the ranking number. Classes, every class does something different, right? And there's a couple of different classes. I don't think I have them all in like every single one, but you have a warrior class, an assassin class, right? You have ranger. Um, I'm supposed to put there's supposed to be a tank in there as well. You have a tank and healer. So it's let's just say you have your leader cards. That's a class on its own. Leader cards, assassins, um, warriors, rangers, tanks, and healers, right? And healers are going to be very interesting. They're going to be very, very interesting. So when it comes to healers, right? The component that has I'll talk about that in a second. Let me kind of get through the rest of this stuff before I don't want to jump all over the place. I don't want to jump all over the place. I want to kind of still break down what everything is. So you have the different classes have different you know bonuses, right? So like assassin, you have you get backstab points, right? So just kind of jump in here. As you can see, the cards are supposed to have okay. Well, like they're gonna have like I couldn't put on these ones, but they're gonna have arrows detecting like which direction they were in, right? So like if I was all the way up here and this one had kind of got behind me, right? And he's an assassin. This is a backstab, so there's additional, bonuses to that, right? So that becomes a key point into certain classes. Again, tanks take more damage, right? So they have reduced incoming damage. Warriors have increased attack. Rangers have long range up to a certain squares. So like three could be up here and have a shot bonus of like maybe 3 tiles, right? So if I was here, right? That could reach me. That's 3 tiles. He could reach me. Boom, 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 boom. He could shoot me from here, right? So you have just different countermeasures and things like that, and so they have different perks, depending on the class. And let's just say healer. So let's throw a healer in, right? We're gonna make a healer the same color. So as a healer, we kind of come into the second fold, right? Which is in order to heal, your comrades, right? You have to continuously roll higher than your last roll, right? So if I roll my dice, okay, and I'm trying to heal you, and I roll, I pray I got a 9, right? So on my first joint, I'll heal you. Boom, you get healed. And you'll have heal bonuses and things like that too. So like that'll have its own little effect. But I heal you, no problem, right? But let's say you come over again. I need to heal the next turn, right? I need to heal the next turn. Okay. So I come up there. So I rolled a 9 already. I got to roll again. I have to roll higher. I roll a 17. Jesus. So for one, yes, I can heal you. Okay. I can heal you. No problem. Boom. Get a heal. We're good to go, right? Now, the problem comes into, let's say another person comes, you want to heal him too. You have to roll higher than a 17. 15. Heal doesn't work, right? It's okay. Roll again, right? 9 doesn't work, right? So you have to roll higher than a 17. And again, you can put on certain equipment to roll. I mean, to increase your roll bonus, right? So like maybe it's like you probably roll a 15, but then you have a 3 + 3 on the roll bonus, right? And so that technically makes 18. So you can heal, but now you have to roll higher than 18. You get what I'm saying? So at a certain point, your character will max out, right? He will max out his his healing, and then he just becomes a regular unit. So after a while, you feel me, like he'll hit 20, you'll have to start running 20, 20, 30, 40, and it's just impossible. So at a certain point, he maxes out, right? There is no refurbishment. He just becomes a regular unit on the battlefield, and his attack is low, so he kind of becomes somewhat of a burden. Not too much, not too crazy, but somewhat of a burden. So there's that, right? And so that's all the classes and kind of like what they do, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like the 6 that I have in mind. So outside of that, another thing is so I have these little pieces are just like to indicate health, right? Because every unit has their own health, but we're gonna make a digital game, so that won't be this won't be a factor really. Um, but it's kind of like what it kind of had it basically was like you kind of you have 3. This one, every heart is a health, and I think this is diamonds. I don't know why. I think I designed them as diamonds because I'm special like that. Let me see. Yeah, I designed them like diamonds. So like every diamond is a heart. So every attack, you basically lose a health. So base wise, you feel me? Like leader cards always have 3. You can always boost them with equipment, but again, you know what I'm saying, some equipment doesn't last. Like the exosuit, I think the exosuit is supposed to be like a permanent until the shoot's destroyed. So it kind of acts as a health, right? So it acts as health. You feel me? So you kind of put it on there. Boom, exosuit, bow, bow, that kind of stuff. Again, tabletop, which is very hard to make this game. It was very hard to make this game make sense in tabletop without certain functions kind of go making crazy. But you have the exosuit. 'Cause I think you can spread it too. I think it's like a spread button somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So I can spread it. but as you can see, the things fell off. But it's not the point. It's not the point. Tedious things. But so yeah, so exosuit kind of comes into play, right? And outside of that, and so it's destroyed again. It'll maybe add like maybe 1 or 2 health. It just depend. It will depend on the equipment, but once it's gone, it's gone. So you can increase your health points and things like that. You can increase your health points. You can heal things like that with equipment. But once it's once it expires or everything like that, it just kind of goes into the grave and just kind of move on from there, right? Um, outside of that, you feel me? This is just again you have the currency, so that's the only reason this was there. You have a currency limit, right? So you can kind of go into it with that, and then there is a timer, so you can play without a timer. In a custom game, you can play without a timer, but in an actual game, you only get 20 minutes per game, which is one other thing to note. And so the only there is I think there's 3 ways to win, right? There's 3 ways to win. Okay, you can win by one, right? You plug up your opponent's spawns. If you get all your pieces to your opponent's spawn, it's an automatic. That's an automatic win because you can't. They can't bring in any more units, right? So boom, that's a win. If you take out the opponent's leader, right? That's it for the game for them as well, right? If you bankrupt a player, right? So even if you bankrupt a player, they still can kind of go on, but it's basically an elimination, right? So you can bankrupt them. They don't have any more money left, but they have pieces left. They can make a comeback. So it's not really like that, but it's more so like that's elimination at that point. So if he has like one unit left against your 8, right? I mean, it should be a surefire, but you never know. It could be an underdog story. You never know. But and I think I'll work out the kinks for that one. But I think that bankruptcy should automatically be a win. But we'll see. I think it should switch to elimination. But again, we'll test out the waters and see how that one works out. And of course, as always, you can always surrender, right? I say that from last week because I want to explain to you guys some game mechanics that make this game itself unique. Okay, so when it comes to the Voyager Legends, okay, there is going to be a couple different game modes, right? Which 3 to be exact. Okay, you have tournaments, right? Which is basically they're kind of like just localized, right? Um, they're localized units. What is it? Not units. It's like localized tournaments. So it's like a set number of people, and it's an elimination tournament, and you play by specific tournament rules, right? You also have Conquest, and I should have started with that one. So you have Conquest is the main one. Conquest is basically domination, right? You're basically playing king, right? Who's going to be the king of the conquest, and it's going to be by season, right? And what that basically is after every match, okay, whatever you leave off with, right? Let's just say, in the normal sense, right? You start out with I think it was like what was this? 3, 5. Did I really pick 5,000? Huh. So let's just say 5,000 credits. I think I did put 5. I think that was the good number. I forgot why we came up with the 5,000 number, but let's just say you start with 5. Everyone starts with 5,000 in Conquest. You always start with 5,000, right? Now, you can always buy more coins, right? But the thing is, the brackets are not determined by victories, they're determined by gold amounts. Okay? Because in retrospect, if you're a veteran player, it's expected that you have a large amount of gold or credits, you know what I'm saying, in your inventory, right? Because you're a veteran, you've been playing for, 6 months you're 6 months into the season, you're expected to have a shit ton, and you're a good player, so you know how to play the game well. It's expected that you have, you know, 300,000 credits, right? So you're going to play against other people who have 300,000 credits, right? So you can buy more credits, but it doesn't behoove you to buy. It's not. It doesn't incentivize you to buy more credits because you get put in matches with people with just as much, and they're going to. They have a better understanding of the game. They may whoop your ass, right? You don't want that, right? But as far as a regular rookie player, right? Like you everyone starts off with the 5,000, right? But if you can't get past the 5,000 because you can't win any matches, then you really shouldn't move on to the next match until you get better. So it's kind of like I don't want to incentivize people to buy credits, but you do need credits to play Conquest, right? You're going to need them because again, you gotta summon, you have to be able to summon units and things like that. So you do need them, right? So that's our online play with that one. And there's gonna be a leaderboard, and there's gonna be other things. I haven't worked out all the juicy stuff, um, but in terms of like main focus, that's what it's going to be. And the tournament is basically like a localized version of Conquest, which is it plays by the same rules as Conquest in the terms of like what do you go? You basically every round in the tournament you keep the same amount of coins plus your winnings from that round, right? And so you know blah 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 blah. And then lastly is exhibition, which you don't really have. You can just kind of play with your friends or pick up local matches and things like that. Just play online so you can kind of get your skills up and things like that. Um, Nothing crazy, nothing insane, but you know, so you can have more fun with it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot less lax. You feel me? It's just there is no penalties for losing in the exhibition. Outside of that, I think that's really everything. Um, when it comes to this itself, I think that's everything. So what I'm going to end up doing because I'm learning to do the artwork and things like that, I'm going to make it a 2D game. So I'm going to make 2D sprites. At first, I was thinking about doing pixel, but I think this would be better if they were clearly defined, sprites. They kind of go with them, things like that. And this will be the game that I code out. So I'm going to code this first, and it just aligns. It aligns with the comics. So we're gonna run with this one. So that was it. I mean, in terms of like some test runs, I wanted to do like some test plays in tabletop, but what I think I'm going to do is just actually code the entire game. I'm going to code the entire game in Godot, and then when I have like the early access, I'll let you guys play the early access ones. Um, I should say the alpha. I should say alpha. I'll let you guys play the alpha, and we can kind of run some tournaments and see how everything runs, fits, and if we need to tweak any things. Plus, I got I'll console, and I think one thing I think a fun thing we'll end up doing is I think that we can kind of have a discussion. I think we can kind of have a discussion. Let's just kind of like work out how to do these cards. All right, I think that would kind of be fun as well too. So you guys want to put some input on what you think the cards should be, by all means, hell yeah, right? Let me know what you guys think. You feel me? So I think we'll just kind of do like that. Did I just pick up one card? Yeah, so we'll just kind of go like that. And then outside of that, if you guys have any questions, you know what I'm saying, by all means, always and forever, please, you guys know the drill. Let me know in the comments, bro. If you guys are excited, do you guys like what you see so far in terms of gameplay? Do you guys want to see a new card game hit the map, hit the stores? How you guys feeling it? Like talk to me what you guys think. So we'll have the conversation. I'll make another video. This was kind of like a rough. This is kind of like a rough video because I wanted to just kind of put it out there. It's going to be my first like TikTok video per se that I'm gonna kind of like chop up and edit. Um, a little bit maybe, strong maybe there. Um, But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, like I said, like by all means, you feel me? Like let me know. I definitely want to have, like I said, have the conversation. And if you guys are curious, if you guys are excited to see, do you guys want again? Do you guys want to see? If you guys want to see more Voyager content and things like that, Voyager Legends, this is the place to check it out. So, without further ado, this has been your captain signing out.